Hey there everyone, welcome to Violet's Dream Tarot. So today's video is going to be called something like what's next for your relationship, or what will happen next in your relationship. I haven't decided exactly what the title of the video is going to be yet, but it's basically about just that, what you can expect from your relationship in the future. I haven't set a time limit on when these changes are going to happen, and I'm open to people watching this who are completely happy with their relationship and are just watching this out of curiosity to see what happens, and also people who maybe aren't sure if they want to continue with their relationship, so they want to see how things are going to progress, or who maybe are having difficulties in their relationship and therefore kind of want to see how things are going to pan out. So I'm open to lots of different situations here, and as always, you should take what resonates and leave what doesn't. This is not a private reading. This is a general reading on YouTube, so it's got to fit a lot of people's situations, and if you feel like that's just not relevant to my situation, or that really doesn't resonate with me, that's fine. You could still get an important message from that pile, but if you feel like nothing's resonating with you in that pile, please do feel free to choose another pile. So I want to say a big thank you to all of my subscribers, everyone who's donated to the channel, and I want to say a big thank you, of course, to all of my patrons, including Alexandra, Kat, Kelly, Chris, Virginia, Cara, and Joan. Thank you so much for all of your support, you guys. You have really lifted me up during a very stressful and busy time for me. So let's take a look at the piles that I've got, and I'm continuing the theme that I've been doing recently of putting a card on each pile rather than an object. And the way that I do that is I don't choose a card from a deck, I just shuffle and I say give me a card that's going to be a pile marker for pile 1, and then I take whichever one jumps out, etc. And so they've often been really accurate to the person's situation, or kind of messages that have come up in the reading have been somehow linked with the cards in previous videos. So let's just take a look at each card and each pile, and I'll tell you kind of roughly what I think those cards represent, but you might have your own meanings for them. So over on group 1, we've got this kind of, reminds me of like Confucius or like Sun Tzu, Lao Tzu, like a Chinese philosopher, and he's like taking these bites out of these books. So with this, I just think of learning, education, knowledge. And we've got the Ramses Tarot of Eternity for pile 1. Just kind of think of your person or your relationship with them and ask, what's next for us? What's going to happen next in our relationship? Maybe you're wondering how a particular situation is going to pan out, and we may get answers for that in the reading. Obviously, I don't know what's going to come up. On group 2, we've got all of these different apes, and then the human is kind of circled there. So I kind of think of uniqueness, or finding the one, being the one, you know, the one person that always sticks out to you, the one person you always go back to, maybe. Also kind of make me think about like unique capabilities. And we've got the Happy Tarot for pile 2. And then over on pile 3, we've got this little girl who is climbing up the ladder where it's very kind of shadowy and grey and there's snow on the ground, and she's trying to reach these robins. But what's weird is that these robins are on the windowsill, and she's clearly on the outside of a building, but it looks like they're also on the outside, you know, like the birds in the distance are flying away. Where's the inside of this building? To me, this just is like kind of trying to reach out to new people, make friends, trying to bridge a gap in communication between two people. And yeah, it also makes me think of like different layers of the psyche, different layers of emotion, different layers of the soul, feeling shut out, maybe feeling cut off from someone, like you can't quite reach this lovely space of freedom or happiness. And we've got the Dark Mansion Tarot for pile 3. So you don't have to choose based on the images or the meanings of the cards. You can just choose whichever one you're feeling intuitively pulled towards, which is always what I recommend doing, just choosing where you feel really drawn to, regardless of whether the card has any meaning for you or not. But some of you may really feel like something that I've said there, or that an image on the card really means something to you, or really speaks to you about you personally, or about the relationship that you're asking about. So that might be a cue to take that pile, and obviously if it doesn't resonate, you can choose another one. So you guys, you can take as much time as you need to pick your pile. Pause the video if you need more time, or go back to the start of the video if you want a close-up of all of the cards and decks again. And when you guys have chosen, I'm going to start with pile number 1. Hey there, Group 1. Welcome to your reading if you chose the Chinese philosopher or scholar taking bites out of these books and the Ramses Tarot of Eternity. This is going to be a reading. And I meant to say in the introduction, but I forgot. Thank you so much to Huyen, if I'm saying your name correctly, for your very generous donation to my PayPal recently. I'm just really, really grateful for that. That was so kind of you. So if you're watching, thank you. Probably better to say it at the beginning of every pile, actually, because then some people might skip the introduction. Okay, so Group 1, what's coming up next in your relationship? Wow. Okay, so we're getting lots of cards flying out, which is great. It was like ready to give an answer straight away. We've got the Death card as the first card there. Then we've got Strength. So 2 major arcana cards straight away. Then we have the Seven of Cups. The Fool, another major arcana card. 3 of Swords. And 4 of Pentacles. Wow, okay, so lots of different energies here. I'm seeing Scorpio and Leo showing up in the reading. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign. We might also get some others because I've got plenty of oracle cards and then charms and dice that I'll be using. I kind of get the feeling that this relationship keeps going through cycles, or it's very kind of on again, off again, or it's very intense, because what I'm feeling is that you guys may even be broken up right now, or maybe in no contact, or, you know, you're thinking, should I leave this person and walk away? Because it feels like there's been a lot of drama, and basically kind of what I'm feeling intuitively from the tarot cards, although we will get more information with the oracle cards, is that one person in this connection seems to keep hurting the other person, or you keep hurting each other, whether that's intentional or not, because I kind of feel like there's a cycle of someone gets hurt, they spend time healing from that, it causes some uncertainty about the connection, then there's like a renewal, you know, things are going great, then someone gets hurt again. That's what I'm seeing, and I'm wondering if maybe it's kind of a healing curve where something really big happened between the two of you, and it gets better, you kind of focus on the healing, and then you seem to go back to square one in a way, or you kind of, you know, go back a little bit. Snakes and ladders kind of feeling, and then it's like, well, I've put so much effort into that, and then I feel not great again, and then, you know, it starts all over again. Maybe there's been cheating in this relationship, or just kind of maybe one of you's got trauma that you've been through in the past, and the other person didn't really know how to deal with that, maybe was a bit insensitive. Maybe this person has said comments that they didn't really mean, but that have stuck with you, or you've been the person that's made the comments. You know, it feels like that. I don't feel like it's kind of intentionally hurting each other. But there does appear to be things going on here that have been very painful to deal with, and it's kind of left whoever has been hurt wondering whether they should continue with the relationship. And I also feel as well, for the person that isn't hurting, there is that uncertainty of, is this person going to leave me, or, you know, am I doing the right thing here? So I'm really getting this very cyclical feeling from those cards, and obviously some very major events, because we've got major arcana cards, very significant things. So I think I'm going to start off with the Dark Goddess Oracle. Gaia, creation. Yeah, so this card comes out when it feels like we're kind of in turmoil. We don't really know what's going on. Everything feels kind of chaotic around us, and we need to start putting ourselves first. I'll just get the guidebook, because I remember the first time I pulled that card, I read the guidebook and I was like, oh, I wouldn't have thought of that just from looking at the card itself. So it talks about feeling like you're in the middle of a storm with chaos, unleashing its fury all around you. It's too easy to get sucked into the dramas and traumas of those around you, so there could be past trauma for someone. And if that's the case, then I feel like that person is not being dramatic in this relationship, and I would never kind of suggest that someone who is experiencing flashbacks or symptoms of past trauma is, you know, being dramatic. It feels rather like the other person just doesn't know how to respond to that in the best way because they've not experienced it personally, so maybe they don't understand it very well. Maybe they've been a bit insensitive in the past, etc. Can also talk about others having high expectations of you, which results in you taking care of everyone's needs before considering your own. Yes, so it's time to focus on what is truly important to you, set clear boundaries, don't give in to the demands of others, seize the day and create the life you want. So that's where the creation and kind of Gaia aspect of that card comes into it, is when we choose to create the life that we want rather than the life that other people seem to want for us. So there's a lot of deep thinking going on in this relationship, and I'm wondering if that's where we start to connect to the card, because when I pulled that card as a pile marker at the beginning, I was thinking, how is that in any way related to relationships? You know, I would expect to get that if someone was doing a lot of studying or maybe spiritual learning, or they kind of had a lot going on at work. But maybe you've been reading a lot of advice on forums or kind of articles about, if you're feeling this, it means this about your relationship, and you're trying to figure out what you want to do, how to move on from this, etc., etc. Rapunzel, liberation, number 2. So I feel like there is a change coming, and obviously we do see that with the death card and with the Fool as well. That doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to break up with this person if that doesn't feel right for you, but I feel as though there's going to be a change in the dynamics of your relationship. Maybe you're going to have a talk with this person and say, look, I need you to be around more, or I need you to be, you know, more supportive, or give me a hug when I say that I need it, rather than just, you know, not being attentive to those needs. It feels like one person feels kind of perpetually undervalued in this relationship, and feels as though they're putting in a lot of work. You know, they're always there to listen to the other person. They're always there to support them and are kind of overly attentive, I feel, to their needs. Like, maybe this is where Gaia comes in. She is caring and nurturing of everyone around her. She's aware of what they need and gives it, but then no one reciprocates that for her. We've got Samhain, death. So the death card coming out twice in a sense. Samhain is also late October, early November time, so that could be an important time for this connection, or it could be giving us a bit of a timeline of, you know, when to expect changes to happen. This reading is timeless, so whenever you're watching it, there could be a message for you here. But there definitely is something that needs to change, and something that needs to be kind of released and let go of. If there has been past trauma, this could come about through therapy, could be, you know, couples counselling if there's been cheating, or if behaviour just needs to change. The Union of Hearts, number 28, a love connection defies explanation. That's a really lovely card. So I don't feel like you want to really move on from this person. It's just like you feel they keep letting you down. Or maybe you feel like your feelings and your issues, whatever they've been caused by, mean that you're incompatible with this person, or that you're struggling to be in a relationship right now because maybe you worry a lot. Maybe there's a lot of kind of paranoia there. Maybe you're overly self-conscious about the way you come across. But it feels like whenever these thoughts enter your head, you keep being drawn back to this person. You keep thinking, no, I care about this person, or this is a great person to be around, or, you know, I don't want to hurt them. It's like you keep being drawn back to them. Two cards from the Faery Forest Oracle, number 19, the Trickster, Deceit, Betrayal, Guile. And then number 20, Unseelie Queen, Glamour, Opulence. Don't know why that was difficult for me to say then. And Hubris. Interesting. And there is like a fair amount of red and green in your oracle cards as well, which is curious. Feels like whoever it is that keeps being hurt keeps putting on like a brave face, you know. With these two cards together, I feel like trying to come across as more glamorous than you personally feel, maybe trying to come across as more confident, more beautiful than you personally feel you are, regardless of how you look objectively. You know, maybe you feel that you have to pretend that everything's okay when actually you're feeling very triggered or you're feeling very vulnerable because you're afraid that this person just won't give you the support that you need, or they might see you as weak, or you don't want to be seen as vulnerable, you know. Maybe there's been kind of words about this in the past, or this person's just not been there for you, so you feel like you have to seem more independent, more put together, more collected than you actually feel, and so that's causing a disconnect. Goddess of the Moon, number 52, so this kind of intuitive energy. I do feel like you need this person to be around more and to kind of be more attentive to your feelings. It feels as though they just don't pick up a lot on how you're feeling. This card also flipped over in the deck while I was shuffling. It didn't come out, but I thought it was important based on what we've been seeing, is that there is a need to access healing and to kind of set yourself free from whatever these feelings are, whether it's worry, whether it's fear, guilt, paranoia, shame, low self-esteem, PTSD, whatever it is. There's a need to work on it and own it and accept it so that you can set yourself free. And I think that's what a lot of these cards about liberation and death and transformation have been hinting at, is that there is a need to just finally accept and own that rather than running away from it. I'm wondering as well if some of you are maybe kind of insecure about a certain person or about other people when it comes to your relationship, because there has been cheating in the past or kind of crossed boundaries, or you just feel like, you know, maybe there's a particular friend of your partner that you don't trust, you think they want more. We've got narrow pathway, tread thoughtfully. So it does feel like from here on out, group one, you're kind of taking things one step at a time. You're trying not to plan too far ahead with regards to this relationship, because you just want to see what's going to happen. You want to know how you're feeling at each time. It's important to keep checking in with yourself. You know, am I still okay with this? Am I still happy with where this relationship is progressing? Has this person been showing me the attention I need? Healing family issues, wow. Your love life benefits as you forgive your parents. There's really a lot about healing here and about moving on from trauma, from difficult experiences. Some of you, it is that you've been cheated on in the past, or that you have been betrayed or let down in relationships. But for a lot of you, I feel there is trauma there. May not have been perpetuated by your parents, but it could have been exacerbated by them, or just kind of ignored by them, or you just felt like you didn't have the most supportive upbringing. You know, it could be other family members as well that are involved. Cookie dough, building, evolution, development. That's a very positive card. That's saying that there is something that you can work on here with your person. There is a firm foundation that you can work on, because we've got, despite all of the stuff that's going on around you, you've got that Union of Hearts card. Fundamentally, you keep being drawn back to this person. Führung, number 32, leading. This card is all about standing up for someone who needs an advocate, or standing up for someone when they're struggling to support themselves. So I feel like that's what you kind of are needing from your partner right now, is you're needing them to understand more what you need from them, to be more open and responsive and aware of that. King Solomon cards, we've got number 1. I know that that's about relationships, but I can't tell you exactly what it means, so let's just get the guidebook. Love, relationships, emotions, mutual concessions, support and encouragement. Okay, so it says the beginning of a new relationship, existing, loving, supporting and intimate connections. You may get an insight about someone who's familiar to you, whom you never imagined that would be interested in you. support from your partner when you need help. And that's what I think we need to focus on here. I think it's about greater support from the person that you love and care about. That's really nice. I don't feel that for many of you it is about a new relationship. I think it's about building on what you've already got with this person and letting them know that they need to be there for you more, kind of talking more openly about your needs. Kind of feel that for a lot of you, it's not that your partner is kind of being deliberately hurtful towards you. It's more that because you're always the person that cares, you're always the person that's there for everyone, they kind of forget that you also have needs in a way. And that's not to let them off, because I feel like that's really bad behavior just in general. Like, of course you have needs, but I feel like they almost forget about it because you always are there to help other people. So let's see what cards we've got here. I always like to get a couple from this deck. We've got Scissors, disappointment in some affair, and I do feel that you have been disappointed with your partner recently in terms of how they're showing up for you. But I also feel that with the Scissors, for me, it's about kind of cutting things out of your life, you know, getting rid of people or patterns of behavior that you no longer need. We've got Mule, someone is extremely stubborn and unwilling to change. We've got the month of May, could be when these kind of issues started or when things came to a head for you. We've got Horseshoe, good luck, and Heart, love, deep affection and caring, which is a beautiful card to get in this, because I feel like a lot of this is focused on the issues that are there, but this is all saying that there is hope for this connection. You don't have to walk away from this person if you don't want to. You can build on this, but there needs to be a lot of openness. There needs to be honesty. There needs to be a sit-down, serious conversation of, this is what I need from you, because we can't keep going on like this. Yeah, then your last card before we get your charms and dice is Thinker, number 44. So there is this kind of deep thinking that you've been doing, and I do genuinely feel like you've been wondering, should I leave this person? Should I walk away from this connection? Are they not right for me? Am I maybe not ready for a relationship? Is there something wrong with me, etc.? And instead you kind of reach the point where you think, no, we just need to make changes. So let's get your charms on top, and if you want to turn the volume down now, if you don't like the sound of the charms, please do that, especially if you've got your headphones in, because some of you love the sound and some of you hate it. So I always try and remember to tell you to turn it down now. So what's next in your relationship, group 1? Okay, so first of all, we've got the Gemini charm coming out there. So there could be Gemini energy here. That's also twin flame energy, or a situation where your partner seems to mirror you in some way, or maybe kind of shows your shadow self to you all the time, you know, keeps bringing these things up that then really heavily affect you. We've got the wintertime charm showing up. That could be an important timing. You've got quite a few timing issues here, so I'm wondering if quite a few people will choose this pile. Then you've got Mars showing up on your astrology dice. Take a look at your Mars placement and this other person's Mars sign. Let's see what sign they have in Mars. Mars can also be about kind of anger, battle situations, kind of situations where you feel like not supported, like you're having to defend yourself. So that does make a lot of sense. We've got the Irish charm. One or both of you could have a connection to Ireland through your name, surname, family history, anything like that. It's also a good luck charm. Seeing things clearly as well with the sunglasses. Kind of finally accepting and taking on a situation with your eyes wide open. taking things slowly unfolding. This isn't a change that's going to happen overnight. Basically, it's going to take time to unfold, but I feel like you're able to take things one step at a time. You don't get too far ahead of yourself. You're able to just say, okay, today I'm okay with the relationship, today I want to stay in the relationship, we'll see how I feel tomorrow, etc. We'll make decisions based on whether or not that changes. And then your final charm is the revenge charm. So maybe you're really kind of dwelling on issues from the past, not so much that you want to necessarily punish someone or get revenge on someone, but that you just feel like you've been wronged and that hasn't really had the kind of consequences from that person that you would have hoped it would have had. So let's see if your dice have anything else to say. Okay, so we're rolling the 5th set of dice, which is the actions dice. And they look like this. And I'm just going to see how many to roll for you. 4. Okay. Okay, so we've definitely got the starting of a conversation. This person kind of putting their hand up, starting a conversation that needs to be had. There is going to be communication going on. We've got the bouncing ball as well, which is kind of like bouncing along the ground or along the road. So it's kind of like getting the ball rolling, keeping things going, essentially. Whenever I see the ball, I think of energy. So it's like you're keeping that energy rolling in this relationship, keeping bouncing along. We've got the person who is drawing another person, which always makes me think of kind of visualizing your perfect partner or situation, or maybe even trying to manifest a particular person. So I'm kind of feeling this is you outlining what you need from your partner, saying to them, you know, I need more support, or I need you to be more like this and less like that. Not because you want to change them, but because you want to highlight things that you personally find difficult in the relationship. Like if they often kind of make catty comments towards you, or if they can be really kind of withdrawn on an evening maybe, and they just want to sit on their phone and not talk to you. Like maybe that's something you could bring up and say, look, I struggle with that. I feel like I'm being ignored, or I feel like you don't really want to spend time with me. What can we do to change that, etc. There needs to be honesty here. But then you've got the lovely dice with the kind of net catching the butterfly, and that always makes me think about getting what you're looking for, or kind of zeroing in on your goal and getting that reward. So I do think there is a positive outcome for this group one. You just need to be able to bite the bullet and start talking about it. And also whatever this difficult experience is from the past, or this kind of issue that's still affecting you in some way, that does need to be dealt with in some way, whether you want to access professional help or whether you just want to kind of talk it out with someone. And see if you feel any different. Maybe just talking it out with your partner might help some of you, but that does definitely need to be addressed, is what I'm seeing. Otherwise it's just going to keep rumbling on, and you're going to stay in this cycle of it's getting better, no it's not, it's getting better, no it's not. So to truly move on from it, there needs to be some kind of addressing the situation. So I hope you've enjoyed this. Please let me know in the comments how it resonated. It's nice to have a kind of happy, hopeful ending for this one. Please like, share and subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and definitely check out my description box if you're interested in what I do here and you want to get more involved. I've got an Instagram page where I post daily oracle cards. If that interests you, you can go and follow me there. You can follow me on Bilibili if you want to show me some support over there. If you're interested in becoming a patron, check out my Patreon page. You can get access to exclusive content and giveaways and things that I do over there. I'm not currently accepting private readings on Etsy when I post this, but I probably will be very soon. I'm just taking some time just to rest and kind of get my head together so that I'm in the right frame of mind to do that kind of thing after a very, very busy and stressful time for me. So just kind of getting mentally and physically back into the right state that I need to be in to do private readings in a way that does them justice. And if you're interested in donating to the channel like the lovely Huyen did, then please do check out my PayPal link for tips and donations to help me keep making these videos. and my Amazon wishlist and indie deck wishlist for tarot and oracle decks if you'd like to send a new deck to the channel. So thank you so much to all of you for watching. Hope you've enjoyed this and have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you again soon. Bye bye. Take care. Hey there group 2, welcome to your reading. If you chose the picture of the apes and the human being singled out and the happy tarot, this is going to be your reading. So we kind of talked in the intro, didn't we, about this card being kind of about uniqueness or finding the one, etc., feeling like one person is particularly special. And I should have said this in the intro, but instead I'm saying it at the start of every pile. Thank you so much to Huyen, if I'm saying your name correctly, for your very generous donation. That is so kind of you, and I'm so very grateful. So group 2, let's see what's coming up next in your relationship. Okay, so quite a few cards jumping out from the tarot, which is nice. Your first card is the Ten of Cups. Then you've got the Ace of Pentacles, 8 of Cups, 8 of Swords, 2 8s right next to each other. Then we've got Temperance, 2 of Cups, and the Queen of Swords. So very interesting kind of mixture of cards that's going on here. We've got Sagittarius, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, potentially also Earth signs, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus sign showing up here. It's an interesting kind of feeling that I'm getting from these cards. There's lots of very mixed emotions. I kind of feel like you guys have maybe spent a lot of time together recently, or you kind of got together, I don't know, feels like you spent a lot of time together, or you got together quite suddenly, like we're very close very quickly. And so you have a great foundation for this connection. Maybe you started off as friends and then progressed into a relationship. The Ace of Pentacles, but I kind of can also see from the cards that you're wondering, have I picked the right person? You know, maybe that's what this pile marker card is referring to. You're wondering if this is the one for you. They might be special, you might care a lot about them, but are they the one for you? Because I can see that you're wondering, should I walk away? You know, maybe this doesn't feel quite as fulfilling for you as it does for them. Maybe it doesn't feel quite like you thought it would, this relationship, and so I feel like you guys are going to give it some time. You know, regardless of whether you talk to this person about the way you're feeling or not, you're going to give it some time. You're going to see where this goes. I think you're going to share a lot of lovely times with this person still. You know, they're going to show a lot of affection towards you. You're going to feel those lovely kind of romantic feelings again. But I see also that you're trying to be very practical, very rational, possibly about a situation that you can't be rational about. You know, you can't be really be rational about relationships and feelings and affairs of the heart. So that's where I'm seeing this kind of going and what the current feelings are. Just dropping loads of cards now. But let's start with the Oracle cards. And like with group 1, I'm going to start with a Dark Goddess Oracle card, I feel, because I just kind of feel like there's a lot of thoughts going around your head right now. A lot of confusion, a lot of, you know, what should I be doing? What's the right thing? Is this the right person for me? Arachne, hubris. Yeah, you might feel pretty kind of mean in this situation. You might be feeling kind of arrogant, like, who am I to say this person's not good enough for me? Or I feel bad because maybe you were the person who started this relationship. Maybe you came onto them, or, you know, you were the person that took it further than friendship, and now you're thinking, well, I didn't expect them to get such strong feelings for me, or I didn't expect this to escalate so quickly, perhaps. And now you're wondering, you know, is this the right thing for me? And if this doesn't resonate with you as your personal feelings, it could be the feelings of the other person, if that feels like what they're feeling to you, because energies can be reversed in readings. If it's not resonating at all, you might want to consider picking another pile after a minute or so. the day boy and the night girl, balance, number 30. Yeah, and that fits with the temperance card energy as well. It feels like the two of you get along very well. I don't see an awful lot of kind of arguments or disagreements. I don't feel like it's a, you know, you're thinking this isn't the right relationship for me because it's volatile or because it's intense. It almost kind of feels too safe in a way, if that makes sense. Like you feel like, you know, this person's become like my friend, or they were my friend to begin with, and so it feels like, you know, I'm having this relationship with my friend and I don't feel the kind of fireworks and sparks that I wanted to feel for this person. Litha, intensification. So Litha takes place in June, so around June, July time. This could be a timeline for you when something important happens in your connection, but intensification is saying that this is kind of going to keep escalating. Maybe your feelings are going to keep increasing, you know, about this, or maybe the other person's feelings are going to get stronger. Maybe they want more commitment from you, or they want to start, you know, introducing you to their family, or they want to start calling you boyfriend or girlfriend in public, and you're just like, oh my goodness, I'm not sure if that's what I want. I'm not sure if I'm ready for that. Maybe they have a child that they want you to meet or something like that. The only thing that is real is love. Number 7, shift your focus back to love. And I think that's important because I do kind of get the feeling that you have been analysing the kind of love that you feel for this person, because I've got no doubt that you care about them. You genuinely do care about them, whether that's just as a friend or as something more. I do think you probably find them attractive as well, because otherwise you wouldn't have started this relationship with them. So it's not that they're not attractive, it's more that you're thinking like, we're not really compatible, or it's kind of weird for me because you were my friend first, or yes, you're attractive to me, but it's still, I'm not getting that like really strong butterflies in my stomach spark. And so I feel like you're analysing this thinking, well, they can't be the one for me, they can't be the right person for me, because, you know, otherwise I would feel those fireworks. And this is kind of saying, but you still care about this person, there is still love there. Don't lose sight of that. So we have number 7 here, the Green Witch, fresh, new spring. Okay, and we've also got Oath, number 22, promise, pledge, contract. So this was kind of what I was sensing, that this person might start wanting more commitment from you. They might want to start kind of, you know, calling you their partner in front of other people, or kind of saying the boyfriend, girlfriend word, or, you know, maybe they might propose if you're already in that kind of serious relationship and you feel like, no, that's not what I want, that's not where I'm feeling at this time for this person, so you're worried about this. Maybe they've already hinted about it. Maybe they want to start a family with you and you're not ready for that, etc. Maybe they want to start introducing each other to family, or maybe you've just kind of been having a very on the quiet relationship, and then they want to start holding hands with you in front of your group of friends, and you're thinking, hey, that's not what I'm ready for. So there is this kind of mismatch based on what you want in the sense of commitment, and, you know, what you're feeling comfortable with versus what this person is feeling comfortable with. And with the Green Witch as well, I feel like there is going to be a bit of a renewal for this relationship, freshness, new spring. I also kind of get the feeling this hasn't been going on really for that long, maybe just a few months. Less than a year, I feel this has been like a proper relationship with this person for a lot of you. View from above, get the big picture. Yeah, you're kind of asking yourself, what do I want in the long run? And I feel for some of you, you know, you're kind of analysing this too much. I feel like you're asking yourself too many questions about this, when the likelihood is that if you're not right for this person, or they're not right for you, things will probably fizzle out eventually anyway. I feel like you're kind of fencing this person's feelings a little bit, because you genuinely care about them. I can see that. I can feel that for those of you that started off as friends, you don't want the relationship to be completely ruined forever because you're no longer dating this person, you know? I think you have a lot of care for them. I think you think they're a lovely person, genuinely. And so I'm kind of getting the feeling that you're trying to avoid having the talk and saying, look, I don't want you to call me your girlfriend, or I'm not ready to meet your family in that context, or I don't want to get engaged to you just yet or start a family just yet, etc. Or, you know, I don't want to continue this relationship. You're avoiding that kind of discussion because you don't want to be the bad person, first of all, when this isn't like, you know, you're feeling things for other people, or that you're don't like this person anymore. It's not like that. It's that you just don't feel 100%, and that you don't feel like you're quite on the same page as this person, and they're kind of getting carried away in your mind, planning things or getting excited about this relationship, and you're kind of getting cold feet a little bit, or having second thoughts, or just not ready to move on to the next step that they are. So you're trying to avoid that discussion because you don't want to come across as the bad person, and you also really, really don't want to hurt this person's feelings or lose them from your life. So it's that kind of difficult situation. Heart-to-heart conversations. Okay, honestly discuss your feelings with each other. So there is a need to have a talk. I know that you don't want to have it. I completely understand. I think everyone in their life will be in this situation at least once, whether it's, you know, romantic or possibly even with a friend, you know, that they want more from you than you're prepared to give, or you feel like someone is kind of encroaching on your freedom a little bit, because I get that a little bit as well, that you feel almost like your freedom and your future are potentially being taken over by what this person wants. And it's not because they're being controlling, it's because they genuinely think you're great and want to spend time with you, and, you know, want you as part of their life in that way, and you're just worried that you're not quite on the same page and you don't want to break their heart. So we've got 2 energy oracle cards. We have the Thinking Woman, number 47. Okay, so you may be the feminine in this situation who's doing an awful lot of thinking. And Journey, number 2. So there could be a time of physical separation from this person. Maybe one of you goes traveling, or maybe you, I don't know, maybe one of you is considering moving away. Maybe you don't actually live that near to each other, and so spending time apart is quite easy. But I feel like there's going to be a time of space to think a little bit. Banana, walnut, cracking codes, learning, observing. I always get this card when it feels like someone is trying to scope out what the other person's feeling. So maybe you're reading their stories or kind of posts on social media, or vice versa, or when you start a conversation, you're kind of really seeking to understand what they're feeling and thinking based on their body language, so that you know how to approach the situation, or where to start. We've got number 9 there. I'm going to have to get the guidebook for that card because I'm not sure what that means. I'm noticing a lot of like blues and greens in this reading. So again, there is that feeling of kind of thinking, of calmness, of coming at this from a place of rationality, but also from a place of care, just really not wanting to hurt the other person. So the number 9 card says study, education, lessons, learning. Attaining constructive conclusions from something you learned, knowledge earned through personal experiences, acquiring knowledge, education, expanding horizons. And the advice section, which I think we should read, says explain yourself clearly, make sure your words are well understood, so kind of connecting back to the conversations card. Listen and learn a lesson, draw conclusions based on experience and learning and apply them. Enroll in school, take a particular course because you'll learn something important. It's time to expand your horizons. So there's a couple of messages that come with that card. There's firstly the importance of making yourself heard and making your point come across very clearly. There's also the sense that this is a learning experience for you, maybe something about relationships or how to kind of handle yourself in relationships, maybe about speaking up quickly when something feels like it's not going the way you want it to, rather than just letting someone else's needs take over. Possibly for some of you, the kind of study aspect is connected to the journey card. Maybe some of you are studying, and so you met this person through your studying, or maybe living in the place that you were studying at, and then you're going away for the summer, or maybe you're finishing whatever the course is, so you're not going to be physically around them anymore. And that's what this is talking about. We have Erfolg, number 39, success, always a very happy card to get. And Kontrolle, number 14, control. So there is this feeling that you just feel like you're losing your freedom to this person a bit, but I genuinely don't see it coming from a place of malice on their point. I don't feel like from their side they're trying to control you, or they're trying to, you know, take your freedom or anything. I think they're just making plans, or they just want a committed relationship, and you feel like your life is being controlled because it's not what you want, but you haven't spoken up yet, if that makes sense. Okay, so we've got a couple of cards here, and some of them have dropped onto the floor, but they did fly out, so let me just pick those up. I always like to get a few cards from this deck because it's quite good at painting a picture, especially when we're doing like predictions readings like this. You guys got 2 astral houses as well. See, most of the cards, they kind of red on the back and it says tea leaf, and they're just the general cards. There's also purple ones that have months of the year, but you've got 2 astral houses cards. So your first card is goldfish, increase in material wealth or spiritual growth. Okay, you've got flowers, happiness. Your astral houses are love and happiness. Okay, that's great. You've got weeping willow, family sorrow. Man, dealings or relationship with a man. Grapes, time to go out and have fun. Cup, you should accept valid criticism. And shield, you need to defend yourself. So there is a lot here about kind of sticking up for yourself, isn't there? There's dealings with a masculine energy that needs to happen. There's a couple of messages about happiness and having fun, needing to accept other people's opinions in a way that is gracious and kind of not blaming them. We've got something about improved finances or spiritual growth. Could be about learning a lesson. But happiness, love and happiness is just great. Happiness in love, I feel. So I think whatever it is, this does have a positive outcome. TikTok, 30. Yes, you're very aware of the time that you spend with this person, or the kind of amount of time that you have to say something before they start introducing you to people as their partner, or before they're going to start wondering, do they really want to start a family with me, etc. Time is very much on your mind here. And possibly you're thinking as well, like, this is a time in my life where I want to be going out and having fun, or where I want to be, you know, looking for someone that I want to settle down with, and maybe this person isn't that person. So there's a lot of kind of timing and thoughts on your mind with regards to that. But let's get your charms on top, group 2. Very complicated situation, very different from group 1. Please turn down the volume now if you don't like the sound of the charms, especially if you're wearing headphones. A lot of you don't like it, a lot of you love it. So always try and remember to give you that little 2-second warning. And then we'll do your dice after this. So group 2, what's coming up next in your relationship? interestingly, you've got the career and finance ball, a little jade ball. So there is some kind of change or improvement in career or finances. Maybe that's what the journey is about. Maybe you are considering taking another job or a promotion, which means that you'll have to move away. And you don't want to tell this person about that because you're afraid that, you know, they're going to be upset because you're not going to be around them anymore. We have trustworthy, which is the back of the Taurus charm, so Taurus energy coming out again. And I think that's another message as well, is that you know this person can be trusted, you know they're not going to cheat on you, or you know that they're someone who genuinely really loves you. And it's hard to gamble that away when you don't know if you'll find it again just because you're looking for something more exciting, if that makes sense. You've got the little dog there, which indicates someone who's very excited to see you, and that's how this person feels. And so that's why it's so hard to kind of tell them no, or to, you know, even think about having that conversation when you know how much it would hurt them. They could also be born in the Chinese year of the dog, because we've got that charm. Yes, someone is looking to make long-term plans, you know, not necessarily about starting a family, but someone wants to include you in their plans. You've also got long-term plans of your own. You're doing a lot of introspection, a lot of analysing the situation. You're just taking it one step at a time for now. This is like the Page of Pentacles charm, this ballerina. Just slowly working things out for you. You've got growth and stability there, which is nice with the tree. And also the movie camera, which is interesting because this charm comes out when circumstances are kind of working out behind the scenes and you've not yet been privy to that, you've not yet realised how things are going to work out in your favour, but kind of circumstances are changing behind the scenes. So maybe things won't go as badly as you'd thought with this person because of changes to circumstances, you know? That's a nice little message there. So we're going to roll the third set of dice for you, group 2. Those are the mystery dice. And I'll just show you what they look like. And I'll see how many we're going to roll for you today. 2. Okay, so it's not very many. But I always do that little pre-roll to make sure that I'm not rolling, you know, 9 dice, which is how many come in each box. If 7 of them are going to be confusing or just not have a message for you, I think it's important to have quality over quantity. Okay, so we've got the DNA, and this just always makes me think of being very closely connected to someone. You know, this person feels like family in a way, possibly, again, a hint that they want to meet your family or introduce you to theirs, want to start a family with you, etc. And that is very much on your mind. But you just feel so close to this person that you really struggle to let them go, or to even talk about wanting things to change between you, because you just really don't want to hurt this person. And so we've got this person kind of looking out of the storm drain, and this always makes me think of kind of monitoring someone. And we've got that card about watching how they're feeling, observing when might be the right time to talk to them, or how they're feeling during a conversation, so that you can kind of decide how to take it from there. But I'm also kind of feeling like there's something with this dice, it looks like something that's always present, you know, people walking around on the street, they don't know this person is down there watching them. And so it kind of feels a little bit like the elephant in the room here, like you, every time they say something about the future, or every time they say they love you, or every time they bring something up, you know, this thought comes into your mind. And so it's like it's always there whether they know it or not. And so it is something that's really weighing down on you. So, you know, the cards haven't given you any clear decision of whether you should leave this person or not. I'm not gonna presume to tell you that, because that's not what the focus of this reading was, and it's not coming out in the cards. All that I am seeing is that whatever decision is made, or whatever circumstantial changes bring about changes in this relationship, are going to bring you happiness, and they're going to bring you love and joy. Okay, so thank you so much for watching this. I really hope you've enjoyed it. Please do let me know in the comments how it resonated with you. Please like, share and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. And if you're interested in what I do on the channel and you want to get more involved, please do check out my description box. I've got lots of links in there. You can follow me on Instagram if you're interested in getting daily cards on your feed. You can follow me on Bilibili if you want to support me over there. If you're interested in exclusive content and giveaways and things that I do, then check out my Patreon page and consider becoming a patron. I'm not currently accepting private readings on Etsy when I post this, but I will be soon, possibly within this week, if I'm able to just, you know, get myself in the right frame of mind. I've been through a very busy and stressful time, and I'm just kind of catching up mentally and physically after that, and I want to be in the right frame of mind and the right kind of physical space as well, well rested, etc., so that I can do private readings justice. So I will be back on there soon, but I can't give you a specific date. And if you'd like to donate to the channel like the lovely Huyen did, then thank you so much. I've got a PayPal link for tips and donations that help me keep making these videos, and I've got an Amazon wishlist and an indie deck wishlist as well for new tarot and oracle decks. So if you'd like to send a new deck to the channel, that would be lovely. Thank you so much, you guys. Thank you for watching. Thank you for spending your time with me and sharing your energy with me here today. It's been an honor to give you these messages. Have a lovely rest of your day, and I'll see you again soon. Bye bye. Take care. Hi there, group 3. Welcome to your reading. If you chose the picture of the girl on the ladder trying to reach the robins, maybe about a bridging a communication gap, or trying to kind of reach someone who seems out of your reach, maybe about trying to find new friends or feeling shut out in some way. And then also the Dark Mansion Tarot. This is going to be your reading. So I should have said this in the introduction to the video, but I didn't. So I want to say a big thank you to Huyen for your very kind and very generous donation to my PayPal. That was really lovely to see that, and just I'm very, very grateful for that. That was very, very kind of you. So group 3, let's see what's coming up next in your relationship. So we've got a few cards jumping out from the tarot. We've got the 6 of Pentacles, first of all. Then the 7 of Pentacles. Then the King of Pentacles, lots of pentacles in this deck. 8 of Pentacles, wow. Ace of Swords. Then we've got the Chariot. Strength, and the 3 of Wands. Interesting. So immediately, because we've got so many pentacles, I want to say earth signs like Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn are visible here. We've also got Cancer and Leo, potentially some air signs as well. Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus sign. Okay. So let me just kind of feel what I'm getting from the energies here, because there's quite a few varied energies going on. I feel like this is a relationship that you've put a lot of work or effort into already. Maybe you've been seeing this person for a long time, or you've known them for a long time, or maybe even had a crush on them for a long time. So you feel like you've sunk a lot of effort into this connection already. This is someone that you care a lot about, someone that you feel you can really trust. And I feel like it's a very balanced and reciprocal relationship. Like, I'm not really seeing a lot of problems here. If I was saying that there were problems, it would probably be timing. Possibly one of you wants to move more quickly than the other one does with regards to commitment and kind of moving forward with this connection. I feel like communication is okay here, or it's going to get a lot better very soon. I feel like you two are kind of on the same page with where you want this to go. You might just be at different time scales for that. And I feel like whatever has gone on in the past can definitely be healed from, can definitely be forgiven, can be accepted and moved on from. So I do definitely see a future with this connection. What I feel is possibly also getting in the way is someone's career. Someone may want to move away for their job, or they may, you know, even want to go traveling or just live in another country just because they want to. you know, not necessarily for like a big career move, but that's what they want to do, and maybe the other person can't understand that, or they don't want this person to move up in their career or to change careers because they don't want them to move away. Maybe that's what this is about, this kind of bridging the gap. Maybe there's a distance between you physically, geographically. We have Skilla, Drama, as your Dark Goddess Oracle card. So there does seem to be maybe some fights or some arguments going on about this or around this. I feel like possibly someone always works late as well, or struggles to switch off from work. There's a lot about work in this reading, so it's like someone's career or their kind of personal goals feel like a third person in the relationship. Like they feels like it really takes up a lot of time and energy that is therefore not being put into the relationship. I'm kind of getting a vision of like a red flashy car, like a red sports car. Could be, you know, an important message for some of you. Maybe one of you is very wealthy, one of you likes their cars a lot, but I'm just getting a vision of like a red car that's really like flashy. So could be like disputes over how to spend money that's been earned. We've got number 20 there, the red shoes, obsession. Maybe there is some obsession in this relationship and that's not very healthy at all. Or it could be someone's obsession with getting a promotion, moving, you know, acquiring more wealth for themselves, having flashy, expensive things on show. And we've got number 10, Goldilocks, entitlement, okay? So someone's attitude is what's causing an issue here. Whether it's their attitude towards work, their attitude towards material things, maybe, you know, someone feels quite entitled in the relationship as well, like they're putting in not enough effort and yet they're expecting more from the other person. Or they're expecting things to remain the same when they put in less effort. Water, cleansing. So water signs showing up there. But I do feel this is going to get better. Whatever it is, group 3, I feel like communication is going to improve. I feel as though you're going to kind of align what it is that you're looking for, align what it is that you want out of life so that the two of you are on the same page with regards to goals and career and having like a plan for the future. You've got love makes the difference, number 31. Love helps heal past hurts and provides a sense of security and self-worth. So it's possible that one of you is just not feeling secure in this relationship because you feel like you're dropped at every occasion for the other person to go to work, or because they're, you know, they ring you up and they say they're working late and that ruins your plans for the evening, or when they are around you, maybe they're kind of not fully present because they're checking work emails, or they're thinking about things that have happened, or they're worried about a family member, or they're kind of preoccupied with their own goals. You know, they're not fully showing up is what I'm feeling is a problem for a lot of you. You also have number 43, love endures. Love does not give up or lose faith. Love is hopeful and withstands every situation. And that's kind of where you're coming from as well, is that you don't want to walk away from this person because you love and care for them. You know, when you're thinking, I shouldn't leave them over something as seemingly fine as them being ambitious or them being hardworking. But there's got to be like a golden mean for anyone who's interested in virtue ethics. Like, it's not just about polar opposites, like you're either hardworking and ambitious or you're lazy and a slacker and you kind of have no goals for the future. It's more like a spectrum. There's the golden mean in the middle with people who are ambitious and hardworking and genuinely enjoy their career or generally have plans for themselves. And then there's, you know, on one end of the spectrum, people who are lazy, people who don't have plans, no ambition, no drive. But then there's the other end of the spectrum, the other end of the extreme, where people are workaholics and they can't relax, so they can't put energy into something that's not entirely within their control, like the feelings of another person. Over ambition in that sense. So you've got number 31 here, the Fairy Norn, planning, patience, and cooperation. And you've got number 32, Fairy Godmother, revelation, discovery, epiphany. So there is going to be a change, I feel. There is like this sense of having a bit more patience with this person. I feel letting them know the extent to which this is affecting you, because you might have said, I hate it when you work late, or I hate it when I don't get any notice that you're going to be working late, or, you know, I wish you would be more present when you're around me. But they might still not have understood the extent to which that is taking its toll on you, or the extent to which you feel possibly devalued by them considering moving away for work, when that would mean leaving you behind, or that would mean you having to reshuffle your work plans, etc. Kind of, I feel there needs to be a discussion about this, and them to really understand how it's making you feel, and for them to be aware that they're possibly obsessive around work. You might not want to use that word with them, but for them to understand that there needs to be boundaries, and you need to leave work at the door sometimes. And yes, there will sometimes be emergencies where you need to answer your emails, or you need to pick up the phone or work late, but that can't be like a regular pattern that will overtake your relationship, because otherwise you will have to walk away. So planning and cooperation, and then patience is important. And then we've got revelation, discovery, epiphany with the Fairy Godmother, and the Fairy Godmother obviously always makes me think about waving a magic wand and things suddenly become a lot better. So it feels like this really does sink in finally for this person, and they realize, actually, you're right, I have been treating you not very well, or I have been, you know, putting my work first, or my own ambitions and goals first before you. And things change. Miracles, expect the wondrous to emerge. Lovely. So two kind of wish or magic cards right next to each other, two miracle cards. Really lovely. You've got lots of purples and blues in this reading as well, so kind of magic and mystery as well. Oh, let's see what we've got here. Worth waiting for. Wow. Got that patience card, and then you've got worth waiting for. Divine timing is at work in your love life. Okay. And heart-to-heart conversations. Honestly discuss your feelings with each other. So there is going to be this discussion that I feel really changes the course of what's happening here, because finally this discussion, you know, takes hold for this person. They realize how you actually feel. They realize that you mean it. They realize the impact they're having on you. Broken heart in the reverse, number 9. So the ability to kind of heal from that, to reverse the effects of the broken heart, to get things back on track. Pina colada, recreation, traveling, amusement. So spending more quality time together, essentially. Light-hearted, switched off from work or other relationships time, where you enjoy, you have fun, you connect with each other. And this could connect to travel as well, because we've got the 3 of Wands. And so, you know, possibly going on holiday together, getting away from it all. We have Glaubenssätze, number 6, belief systems. So that's a problem in your relationship right now, is that you're not on the same page, is that you both see the same situation very, very differently. Okay, so you see it as this person's work is eating into my life, or their personal goals always take precedence over mine, or their time seems to be more important than mine, their feelings more important than mine, etc. And they're seeing it as, I'm pursuing my goals, and, you know, I can't let a relationship get in the way of that. So that's kind of how the same situation can be viewed very differently by two people. I don't think this person feels like they're being in any way wrong or in any way selfish. You know, they feel like they're just doing what they need to do. You've got number 17 here. I'm not sure which card this is. I'm going to have to look at the guidebook, because they don't have any like keywords on the cards. You've just got to consult the guidebook. This is the King Solomon cards. Wow. Okay, so this one, number 17, is called a sharp turn. So like the fairy godmother, the sudden revelation, the sudden magic wand, this says a sharp and unpredictable turn in any area of life, which is not easy, but which leads to positive results in the long run. So again, messages of patience and worth waiting for. A sudden change that saves you from tough circumstances. The situation is dictated from above. It's all in God's hands and out of your control. Wow. So I'm just going to read the advice section of that card as well. It says, do not resist the change, even if the situation seems against you right now, and stay calm, keep hoping for the best. So that's the message that we've got there. I do think the conversation needs to happen. I think that's been made quite clear. And actually in all three readings, there's been some kind of indication that someone needs to open up, even though the situations of every reading have been vastly different from one another. Every reading has kind of encouraged a conversation to happen. So possibly there's been a lot of holding back. Okay, so we've got plenty of these cards, which is good because I always like to get a few of these to kind of paint a picture of what's going on. I think that they work best when they're like that. These are the tea leaf fortune cards. So the first one that we've got is hills, obstacles to overcome. Isn't that the truth? We've got fair woman, dealings or relationship with a woman with blonde, grey or white hair. So that is the feminine energy. We've got the month of February. Could be important for some of you. Could also be a timeline. In fact, everyone has got some indication of timing as well in these readings. We have funnel, period of frustration, lessons to be learned, and I definitely get that from this as well, that you feel like you're not being put first. Boot, increase your efforts if you want to achieve your goals. Mountain, major challenge to overcome, so hills and mountain. Pale, time to get out of a situation, so that change that needs to come about. Jug, light-hearted, carefree time, very similar to that pina colada card about recreation and amusement. And finally, carrot, opportunity or windfall. So this kind of, again, sudden, out of the blue, unexpected change. Lovely. So I'll get you one more card, group 3, and then we'll be doing your charms and dice. We have Chopwood, number 42, and that's all about work. It's all about the mundane aspects of life, like especially physical work, like chores around the house and things. And it's about just, you know, getting through that situation as something that has to happen. So you can't avoid this person's work. You can't avoid those things that need to be done, but they could change the way in which they prioritize it, possibly, or the way in which they make you feel with regards to that. That's kind of where I want to put the priority here, is for them to have more awareness of how you're being made to feel, because I think that's really important. So we're going to do your charms now, group 3. And if you don't like the sound of the charms, please turn down the volume on your computer or your phone right now, especially if you're wearing headphones, because some of you love the sound, some of you hate it. Always try and remember to say, please turn down the volume just before I'm about to start. So group 3, what's next in your relationship? I think it's interesting as well, I just noticed you got fair woman and then you also got the Goldilocks card. So maybe there is this person, might not be you, it might be someone who's kind of influential in some way in the relationship that has fair hair and is a feminine. We've also got quite a lot of fair-haired women in this reading and red hair as well. Okay, so let's look at what we've got. We have got love here. Okay, we've got a love heart. That's really nice. There is love here, but a change needs to come. We've got the death card. Something needs to be released. Death charm, sorry. Something needs to change. Can't keep going on as it is because you kind of feel stuck in this situation. You know, you want something to change, and we've got the space charm there, needing space. You might say to this person, I possibly need time away from you to think because I feel devalued or not valued in this relationship. You've got the number 6. Could be the 6th month June, which is when I'm posting this, but this is a timeless reading. Could be the 6th of a month. Could be the 6th house. Number 6 is important for some reason here. Could be 6 weeks, 6 days, etc., 6 months that this is going to change for you. We've got healthy relationship, which is good, and also good friend in your charms here. So I feel like this is going to have a very good outcome. There needs to be a bit more patience, and it's going to be kind of sudden when this does come along. Okay, so now I'm going to roll the 5th set of dice for you, group 3, which are the actions dice, and I'll just show you what they look like. Okay, so now I'll just see how many we're going to roll. And of course I've dropped it off the table. Let's try again. Okay, that's a 1, so if it's a 1 or a 0, I always roll again. 4. Okay, so we're going to roll 4 dice for you. Okay, so let's see what we've got here. Okay, so we've got the person who's falling, and that is kind of like what I'm feeling is that you don't want to hit rock bottom. You want to save this relationship before it gets any worse. You can feel that you're kind of descending, you know, you can feel that things are getting or feeling increasingly worse for you, and you don't want that to continue. We've got the person kicking the ball up into the air, and whenever I see the ball, because there's quite a few dice in this deck that have balls on them, whenever I see the ball being moved, I always think of energy. So this is like you starting off that conversation, or you know, getting the ball rolling with regards to the changes that need to happen. It's like you throwing that up into the air and looking to see how that's going to be received by the other person, but there needs to be that catalyst. And we've also got the burglar there running away with the safe, so you're possibly thinking again about the effort that you've sunk into this, the kind of sunken cost fallacy, thinking, well, I can't leave this person because I've spent so much time with them, or I've invested too much emotionally in them, or I've invested too much effort and time into them, or we have a house together, or we have a dog together, or children together, or whatever. We're married, etc. And I just kind of want to say, don't let that make any kind of major influence in what decisions you make. I do feel that this relationship can be worked on, and that you can realign the way that you're both feeling so that you're both on the same page, and I feel like it will have a very successful outcome, but don't let that kind of consideration come into it, if that makes sense. Try not to get caught up in the sunken cost fallacy. So I really hope you've enjoyed this group 3. Please let me know in the comments how it resonated with you. Please like, share and subscribe if you enjoyed this as well. It really helps my channel get seen by more people on YouTube and helps us to grow this family that we've got here. And if you're interested in what I do here on the channel and you want to get more involved, check out my description box. I've got lots of links in there. You can go ahead and follow me on Instagram if you want to get daily cards, daily oracle cards on your feed. You can follow me on Bilibili if you want to show me some support over there. If you're interested in exclusive content and giveaways, etc. that I do, check out my Patreon page and consider becoming a patron. I'm not currently accepting private readings when I post this, but I will be soon. Basically, I just need to rest a little bit after a very busy and stressful time in my life. I just need to breathe and get back to the right mental and physical rested state that I need to be in to kind of do justice to private readings. So I will be offering them again soon, but I can't give an exact date. It's just when I'm going to feel kind of ready to take them on again, but it will be quite soon. So keep checking back on my Etsy page. And if you'd like to donate to the channel like the lovely Huyen did, then thank you so much. I've got my PayPal link for tips and donations to help me keep making these videos. I've got my Amazon wishlist and also my indie deck wishlist for new tarot and oracle decks. So if you'd like to get a new deck for the channel, thank you so much. You guys are so kind and so lovely and so giving and generous, and it really does mean a lot to me that you guys want to give back and that you want to keep spreading that lovely energy around. So thank you to all of you that have given in some way or that have just left a lovely comment. You guys really do uplift me with the things that you say and kind of hold space for me to keep doing this in a very stressful and busy time. Not just for me, but for pretty much everyone right now. So thank you. Thank you so much for sharing your energy with me today, spending your time with me. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll see you again soon. Bye bye. Take care.